check my laser gun and I go pew, 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 pew.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a super awesome guest. I'm very excited for the opportunity to chat with Miss Vicky B herself. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am seriously just so pumped to get to chat with you. So this is going to be so fun.
I'm so excited. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So I would love to just kind of kick off with a little bit of the basics. If you want to start by telling us, a little bit about your background, where you live, like all that good stuff, all the basics.
Okay, well, I'm Vicky. My name is Victoria. I originally born and raised in Orlando. It's kind of where I started my DJ career, was in Orlando. I'm 23. I just turned 23 in October. I'm a Libra. So
Libra.
You know.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm a Pisces, and I'm pretty sure we're compatible. Just saying.
I love Pisces. I have like a bunch of Pisces friends. Like I love Pisces.
Are they crybabies or?
Honestly, I'm the crybaby. Like
you're the crybaby.
I'm the crybaby. Like I would literally cry at like anything. Like I hate how emotional I am because I would literally cry at anything. I have a puppy.
What kind of puppy? What kind of puppy?
Saint Bernard Great Pyrenees mix. So he's like the size of like a regular dog at like 6 months. So he's just a lot already. Yeah.
Okay. Like floofy?
My baby. Not floofy, but he's just tall. Like he's like tall, just like long.
Okay.
Long legs. I have a little sister. We're 22 months apart. Her name's Gabby. My little pain in the ass sister. But she's like, I love her. My favorite color is purple. Fun fact, I love when people give me rubber duckies. Like I love rubber duckies. I don't know what it is. But, like it's just like a little like fun toy that I love to collect as rubber duckies.
Yeah. They're so cute.
I love them.
Yeah.
Everyone says, what's your favorite kind of music? I'm like, I love everything. Like growing up, my parents always listened to like bachata, salsa, merengue. So like I grew up with the Spanish Puerto Rican household, but at the same time, like they had the style of like everything else. So like R&B, old 80s, 90s rock. And then I was always kind of like, I just always loved like trap and like dubstep, like in like the 2012, 2016 like music era. Yeah. I always loved like that kind of like new EDM. So
so you really have a little bit of everything then.
I try. Yes.
Yeah,
I try.
That's awesome.
Honestly, I've been in EDM since I was probably like 9 or 10 years old. And growing up, I would literally just watch like ultra live streams and like Tomorrowland live streams would be like, what is it like on the other side? Like growing up, my friends are always like, why don't you try DJing? And I was like, well, what do you mean? Like, how do I start doing that?
I would love to touch, you said that you've been into EDM since you were 9 or 10 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Were you kind of like the black sheep in the family when it came to that?
Yes.
Because that's pretty young to get into EDM. Okay.
Most definitely. Like growing up, like my parents would be like, what are you watching? I'm like, oh, it's just this live stream. They're like they kind of thought like, obviously EDM has like the drugs, the partying and stuff like that. But it's like, I really genuinely was just in it for the music. I genuinely just like, I love this shit, and like, can I curse?
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Go ahead, girl.
I was like, wait, I ain't asked her.
100%. 100%.
But yeah, I loved it. And like, I always loved just different kind of EDM. So like I would watch Carl Cox growing up or, oh my God, there's this woman I used to watch it for her name. Like Carl Cox, Clooney growing up, Chris like Fisher, Skrillex, like 4B, Flash-O-Rama. Like that was like literally what I grew up on, like to EDM.
Yeah. Okay. I did like a little bit of digging into your background. And from what I found, you kind of picked up, really getting into mixing and learning how to actually make music in 2020. Is that right?
Yes, correct. Okay. It was like the year, I would say literally right before COVID happened. Like I really just kind of like pushed into it and got my own little decks. And like I would be in my room for hours just practicing. That was like really when I got into it for sure. Okay.
Very cool. What were like some of the like prominent challenges when you were first starting to learn how to mix?
Prominent challenges learning, I would say honestly, just because like I didn't really have like what I want to help until after I started learning how to mix. Like it was kind of just like me and like my iPad and like or my computer, just kind of, like on YouTube, just trying to figure out just how to DJ, how to mix. And like I would literally sit in my room for hours and just tell my mom, like, Mom, I'm gonna be DJing, I'm gonna be mixing, like just practicing, just try to teach myself.
Yeah, it is wild, the shit you can learn from YouTube. It is a whole academy for whatever you want to learn.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
That's what I tell anybody who's like willing to learn. They're like, oh, what's the best advice you can give? I'm like, YouTube. Like, I'm not trying to like sugarcoat it. It's YouTube. Like I really learned like the basics and kind of like the beginning stages of it from YouTube.
Did you at any point pick up like a mentorship, or was there anybody to kind of help
Mhm.
guide you throughout the process?
So I had a couple people, like I'm still friends with them to this day, which is awesome to say. I had a
Amazing.
group of people that I really became close with. That kind of, I would go to my friend Steven's apartment at the time, and I would literally be like, "Okay, can we mix? Can we, let's look at music. Let's do this. Let's do that." And he was always like, "All right, Vicky, let's do this, this, and this." And he really was just like, just very open to me, like always coming over, just wanting to learn, just basically
Mm.
hungry for growth.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Shout out to you,
amazing.
Stevie. I love you.
Shout out to you, Stevie. From the videos that I've seen of you performing, sadly, I haven't seen you live, but it's coming. Um,
Almost.
oh, yeah. You are kind of very bass heavy and dubstep
Yes.
heavy. Did you start off that way, or has that kind of changed throughout time?
So it definitely changed throughout time. I started with tech house and bass house. I've always
Okay.
loved bass house, heavier. Just I've always loved the type of like the music where it just gets the people going. Just gets
Yes.
energy up and just changes their attention and just kind of like, okay, like what is this girl about? Like what is her music about? So I've growing up, like I've always learned through tech house and stuff. Like it's fun. Don't get me wrong, but I've done
Mhm.
my personal energy strives best through dubstep.
So
Yeah.
funny too, because like I have a lot of friends who don't really
Mhm.
listen to EDM, and I'm also very dubstep heavy. And so when I
Yeah.
get the chance to have the aux, they're like, I need like drugs to listen to this. I'm like, really? Because I
Yeah.
feel like I'm just expressing my personality.
Oh my God, no. Growing up, I was like the sober raver in the fam. Like
Yeah.
all my friends would like be on something. I'm like, okay, well, I'll be like Dee, I'll be the rave mom, like
Hmm.
like I said, like I was generally just there for the music.
Totally. Are you the rave mom still to this day?
Yes, even when I am drunk, like, or like, other things, yes.
Totally. My older sister, she is like my best friend, and she's also
Mhm.
the rave mom, and she could be, drunk, and then if anything happens to any of us, it is like click
Literally.
right
I'm the
back to it
same
like
way.
candles. So,
I'm the
yeah.
same way. Like I like hold everybody's stuff. I'm like, okay, who needs what? Like I have like
Yep.
big, I have gum, I have all that stuff.
Could you give us like a little bit more insight into what exactly is your style?
So my style then was more just like I really love like Will Clark. So Will
I'm
Clark,
not familiar. Go ahead.
so Will Clark is very, I would say heavy bass line, but just like when you hear the bass, you're like dum dum dum. So that's
Okay.
like that was my favorite thing about tech house is I could find the heavy bass line, and that's kind of what
Yeah.
I found with dubstep. I've always liked the heaviness and just kind of everyone excited for the drop, and everyone's like, oh, what is this gonna sound like? When you do the
Yeah.
double, triple drops, and like the crowd's reaction is just like my favorite. But
Yes.
like now with I just like very heavy and like dark and just kind of like controlled over the crowd musically. So that way, like
Okay.
when I do go on stage, they're kind of like they're like, oh shit, like who is this? Like I kind of like introduce myself in a very heavy way.
Yes.
Mhm.
100%. I actually like totally stalked you on Instagram, and I was watching a few drops, and you threw out like subtronics, and you were just like really hitting
Oh my
heavy,
god,
and the drops were
Subconscious is my number
unexpected.
one.
Is it? Oh my God. I
He
love
is.
that.
Listen, everyone asks me like, "Who's your number one?" Like, Subtronics is my number one. Like, that is
Yes.
someone I'm trying to hopefully, eventually open up for and like me and play for. And that's just like he's
Totally.
just overall like he does so much, and he is just so musically talented. Where like he can create whatever the fuck he want and play whatever the
Totally.
fuck he want. And that's like something that I want to eventually get to is that I want to play a fully original set, but play it completely different than how people hear it, but it's the same.
Yep. Oh my gosh,
Mhm.
100%. Jesse, if you see this, Vicky
Jesse,
B is
love
coming
you.
for you. Oh man, but yeah, he and not only like is his music top tier, but he is just such a good person.
Yeah,
Like
agreed.
I've never met him, but
Agreed.
you can just
Agreed.
tell he
You can just
radiates like the
tell.
most beautiful energy. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's
I love
magnificent.
him and his growth and level up. Like I saw her for the first time at Vanguard, I think for Fractal's tour, and
Oh
it
my
was just I
God.
was like, wow, like the hype is real. You know what I mean? I'm just like, wow, like she's
Yes.
so good, and I just love how they're
Yes.
both compatible with each other and like they both like their musical knowledge just like they just I don't know how to explain it. Like they just it just
They're
chef's
the
kiss.
power couple,
They
truly,
really
of
are
the
like the
EDM
dubstep
world.
power
Yes.
couple. Yeah,
Yes,
agreed.
100%. I literally, so it's really important to me to support female DJs at all costs. Any power I have, I'm like female DJs 100%.
I
So
love that.
whenever I get the chance to see Sonia during her sets, I'm like there at rail.
Oh
Nothing
yeah.
else
Oh
matters. I'm
yeah.
like, Yeah, she's
Especially
so
being
amazing.
a female DJ, like I've always tried to go above and beyond for what I can to support other big female artists, because like I look up to someone like Sonia and like Lays and
Totally.
Stellar and like those other big female artists, because I'm like, obviously I'm trying to get to their level, and you know they're
Hmm.
just excelling above that.
Yeah, and that's actually a topic I would love to dive into as well.
Mhm.
As a female DJ, what are challenges that you face?
Definitely in the beginning, I would say like a lot of places, like not specifically in Orlando, just generally, like they've
Hmm.
always had the same specific DJs that they like their sound, or that they feel like is the fit for the night. But when in reality, it's not. Like I'm being completely honest
Ugh.
with you. Like
Yeah.
I feel like when you look, okay, let me ask this: when you look at lineups, let's just say it's the same city you're in, you feel like you see the same DJs over and over again. You're like,
Over,
don't you
over
want
and
to
over and
give
over
right?
again.
I feel like it's just
Totally.
not fair because like they like a specific sound, but why can't you like that sound from other people? Like
Hmm.
other people can do the same sound that whoever the promoter likes or whatever. That's
Totally.
definitely been a big challenge, just because I feel like I want other promoters and people to know I have a lot to give, and I feel like a lot of
Hmm.
people don't give me the chance or opportunity to give what I can, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. I really hate to hear that, honestly, but like you said, I actually was having a conversation with a friend that, all these lineup drops and it's like the same people just shifted around. And
Exactly.
so we try to
Exactly.
make like a valiant effort to learn the DJs that names are, this big at
Hmm.
the very bottom, and we
Yep.
follow them on Spotify and get to chat with them. And those are the people that are just so humble, and they
Yeah.
don't, care about the clout. They literally just want to show people their music. And I'm like, you
Yeah, that's
are
how I am.
amazing.
I'm like, I literally don't like, I literally like, I'm a normal person. I have a home, I have a dog, you know what I mean? Like, I have
Yeah.
a life, and like, I don't feel like because of the attention that I get, it's just steer away from the regular life that I live. You know,
Yeah.
like, obviously, I still get the attention, like, when I go out, like, oh my God, hey, Vicky, hey, this, hey, that, but it's like, I'm still Victoria at the end of the day.
Totally. Totally. Is that a weird shift for you? Because as you, start to grow, people are going to recognize you. So like, is
It
that weird for you to have those two
is.
worlds?
It is. I've had a couple instances where like I played an after party for Abduction in Orlando, and it was my first time ever playing dubstep. I've never played dubstep before.
Okay.
And my
Okay.
manager at the time, he was like, fuck it, just play. And I literally played a 4-hour dubstep set, the first time I've ever played it live in front of 200 people. And
Oh my
since
God.
that, I've gotten recognized like locally. And this was 2 years ago. So I've gotten
Okay.
recognized from 2 years ago from that to now. And I just think that's like, it's such a crazy feeling. So I'm like, wait, like you fuck with me like that? You know what I mean? I'm like, you know, like you like my stuff. And it's like
Yeah.
it's crazy because like I didn't think about like the aftermath of all of that. Like I
Hmm.
just think about I'm performing from this many people. I have to put on a show for these people. I have to do my job.
Totally.
And so that's kind of like my main, I guess, thing when I play. It's just I just want to put on a good show for people.
Yeah, totally. And there's actually this video on your Instagram of you having a set. I believe it was in Orlando. I'll have to check,
Yeah.
but I think you like did a drop. It may have been Subtronics, and the drop hits and like the crowd goes absolutely insane. And you yourself like
Hmm.
dropped your jaw on how the crowd reacted, and you
I
were
think I
like,
know your video you're talking about.
yes, that's my favorite video. The
Thank
energy that you
you.
have is just like so magical that like you bounce off the
Yeah.
crowd, they bounce off you, and it's like the
Thank
best
you.
time for everybody.
It's just such a good feeling, like especially playing like when I first released my song. I released the song September 2nd. It's called It's Vicky Bitch.
Vicky
When
bitch
I
on Spotify.
yes, Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere. When I first released it, just hearing the crowd's reaction to it was just such a good feeling because it's like that's my music, you know, like that's they're
Yeah,
reacted so highly of what I made, and it's like this
totally.
just it's just such a good feeling, and like having that and then seeing that even if for a drop that I didn't make, just like doing something cool and just seeing the reaction is just my favorite part of the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. I can't even imagine like spending time and putting your soul and energy into a track to give it out to a crowd and to have that love and energy return. Like that has to be
Hmm.
such a magical feeling.
It's amazing.
So
It's amazing.
yeah, just talking about it gets me
Thank
excited.
you. I know it gets me excited too. I'm like, oh, I'm like, I wish I could just like release everything I'm working on right now.
Yeah. Oh, so there's things coming. Yes.
Yes, there is an
Okay.
EP coming before the end of the year. I would say before October. There's gonna be
Okay.
EP dropping. I have another song. I have two songs I'm working on. We're gonna remix that
Okay.
I can't say for who. And then
Okay.
I have another track coming within the next few months. Yes.
Ooh, How exciting.
I'm
Oh my
so
God.
excited.
I'm so pumped for you. And it's like,
Thank you.
honestly, I have sent your music to my friends. Like, so we share
Thank
playlists
you.
and,
Thank
whatnot. And I
you.
just threw your song in and people are
Mhm.
like, who is this? Like, because I think
That's
only
so
It's Vicky
dope.
Bitch is on Spotify, right? So they're like, why is there one song? Who is this artist? I'm like, you just wait. You
Just
just
wait,
wait.
just wait. I have one
Yes.
out right now, but there's more coming. I promise. There'll be probably
Oh,
like
man.
by the end of this year, hopefully 6 songs by the end of this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I would love to ask, from where you started to where you are now, what is
Mhm.
the best advice that someone has ever given you?
Network. I always say that
Network?
network. I've learned more networking. I would literally like when I first started this journey, I would literally go out every single day to just meet people and be like, "Hey, my name's Vicky. What's your name? How'd you play here? Who can I talk to? Who can I introduce myself to?" Like the biggest thing I always tell people is network. Just put yourself out there, show people who you are. Always introduce yourself, even if you're not a people person. It's okay. You don't
Totally.
have to be, but just kind of
Yeah.
initiate that little oomph, for people to be like,
Hmm.
okay, like if someone asks who your name is, you're like, oh yeah, I met them at this place. I remember who they are. That's how people get
Totally.
to talk about you for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. And going off of that too, like I'm sure that takes an exorbitant amount
Mhm.
of energy and stamina to continuously be social and,
Oh
make
my
those
God.
connections. How do you power
Yes.
through it?
Red Bull.
Okay.
Red Bull.
Fair enough.
And I would honestly like when I would go out, I went out with my friend Julia at the time, and like she was always like she was so hungry with me to be like excited for me to meet people. So it gave me a
Yeah.
good motivation. So another advice I would say, just surround yourself with good people that are hungry with you.
Period.
Like I feel like surrounding
Absolutely.
yourself with people who are just as hungry with you really helps you strive and helps you grow even faster than I did. Even this is my third year doing this. So even if it helps someone grow within a year, that's 10 times better than me. So like
Totally.
that's my biggest advice to people as well.
Yeah, yeah. And it's crazy that you've been doing this for 3 years. And I mean, you're already
Yes.
making some pretty big waves yourself,
Thank
which is so
you.
awesome. Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
blessing. It's crazy because like I remember telling my mom, like, I'm like, Mom, I want to do this, I want to do that. And like everything is just like aligning. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
whoa. In a good way, like,
It's
whoa, this is
crazy.
crazy. But like I'm also
Yeah.
just I'm grateful and I'm blessed to be able to do what I do with what I love. And
Totally.
so yeah, like I said, I'm still growing, I'm still learning. So we just have to keep growing and learning throughout the process.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Yeah,
that's like really all you can do, is just
exactly. That is
continue
all
to
I can
be
do.
a better person, and you're literally doing
Mhm.
just that. I love it so
Thank
much.
you.
Kind of already touched base, Subtronics and a lot of the female artists are people that you
Mhm.
look up to. Who is someone that you look up to that isn't necessarily a DJ or an artist? Someone maybe that, touches your heart personally.
I would say my mom. My mom recently passed away a few months ago, and like
Oh
she was
man.
the biggest, I would say, supporter and like I guess number one fan when it comes to she was just always supportive of what I do. She's always like, listen,
Hmm.
I don't care what you do, but just do it. Like if you want
Yeah,
to do something, do it. And
absolutely.
first couple times that she saw me, she was just like, Victoria, like you're so good. Like she loves seeing me like in my
Yeah.
element. So like that's just with her passing is definitely just a hungrier like growth when it comes to like I'm just like
Hmm.
okay, I want to do all of this for my mom. Like I want to be able to be successful for her and just show her that I can do this and I can be successful
Yeah.
with this industry.
That is so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would also like to share my mom also passed away in 2015, and I relate
I'm
to that
sorry.
so much. Like people always give you the cheese of like, they're still with you, they're still with you, but that
Right.
shit's real. They're really
Like
with you,
it
pushing
really
you.
isn't until they grow through it. And like you
Yeah,
already know since you are still growing through it, it's like it
totally.
really doesn't affect you till you go through it.
Seriously, the biggest round of applause to you because I feel like
Thank
when
you.
you have such a loss like that, there's like two paths. You can either kind of give up or be
Mhm.
empowered and push even forward. And you literally took the best path. So
I
that's
wanted to
amazing.
give up. Don't get me wrong. Like I really was
Yeah.
like, it was very unexpected. So it was just like, it's just me and my little sister. So I was just like, fuck, like,
Mhm.
what do I do now? But like she would just told me, keep fucking going. Like literally just do
Yeah,
not stop, just keep fucking going. So that's
totally.
what I'm
Totally.
doing.
That's amazing. I love to
Thank
hear
you.
that. And I'm
Thank
assuming
you.
your pain in the ass little sister is also a supporter of yours.
Yes, she went to
Okay.
a first show of mine when I opened for Lucy, I think it was, at
Okay.
Guilt nightclub, and it was her first time seeing me. And she brought a friend, and I remember like after we were finished, she was like, "Victoria, you did so good." Like she was like, "That was so much fun." And she doesn't like EDM. Like she's like, this is not her scene. So for her
Yeah.
to come, it meant the world to me that she was in the crowd, just watching her sister do her thing.
Oh, that's amazing. I love to hear that so much. Siblings that support siblings, even though you fight, like
Yes,
when it comes down to it, you will always support each other, which is
most
beautiful.
definitely.
Bouncing off of, love and positivity, one of my
Mhm.
favorite questions to ask is, what does plur mean to you?
Mhm. So plur means to me is just protect everybody, like just take care of each other. I, especially like when I'm fucked up in the crowd, I always,
Mhm.
if whoever I'm with, like, hey, you good? You need anything? You need water? Even if it's a fucking stranger and I know they may seem like they're fucked up or they're, they look bad. I'll go up to someone that I don't know, like, hey, are you okay? Do you need, like, it's all about just taking care of each other, caring about each other. No matter what circumstance it is, even if it's like,
Mhm.
even if it's, you want to see somebody you don't know at a festival, who cares? Just take care of each other. As long as you take care
Totally.
of each other and just look out for one another, I think that's really what plur means to me, in my opinion.
That's amazing. And I love that
Thank
you,
you.
as an artist, are keeping plur alive. Like, that's so important. And I feel like that's easy to lose sight of as you kind of dive headfirst into your artistry. So the fact
Mhm.
that you are keeping that alive is just like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
I try. I try.
Let's dive into some sillier questions.
Okay.
Um, are there any pet peeves that you have coming from people at festivals?
Fan clacking. Please stop fucking fan clacking at dubstep. Like, what are you doing? I understand a house, okay, techno, because the beat is on it. Do not fan clack at dubstep. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? It does
Yeah.
not go with the beat, and it just sounds like shit when I'm just trying to listen to Fat Drop. Like, please stop fan clacking at dubstep. Please. That is my pet peeve.
And I would love to ask, kind of the way that you just spoke, it sounds like you also are in the crowd, kind of with everyone
Oh
bopping
yeah.
around. So
Oh
if people
yeah.
see you out in public, are they welcome to come up to you and say hi?
So I actually went to Atlanta this past weekend with my boyfriend. We went to like a little vacation, like a 2-day, 3-day trip. And I was, Radiate, the app.
Yes. Yep.
So
Totally.
I,
Yep.
I
Yep.
was in a
Yep.
Radiate group chat for the Subtronic show in Atlanta. And I was just texting, talking about the show, stuff like that. And this guy was like, oh, have you played here? And I was like, yeah, like this is my DJ name. And like all of a sudden, like 4 people in the group chat were like, yo, this bitch throws down. Like, she's super dope. And I was like, what the hell? Like, you guys know me like that? And so at the show, I was with a group of people with my boyfriend. Like, the guy came up to me. He's like, hey, I'm this person. I said this in the group chat. And I was like, wow, like, thank you for supporting me. Like, that's really cool. So I've
Yeah.
had a couple instances like that, like outside. I've had more instances, like I would say, at smaller shows than festivals, just like festivals are
Hmm.
so just big with
Totally.
hundreds of thousands of crowds.
Right.
But like playing, like this will be my first year, my first official year where I'm playing like a real festival. I can't say what,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I can't say what yet.
All right.
But it'll be my first year playing like a real official festival, other than Summerland and Shipwrecked.
Okay. Very
Yeah,
cool. That's
so I'm
amazing.
excited to see how it will turn out. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like my only, I would say, instance as far as out of state that I remember.
As you kind of grow and connect more with your fans and really just, I guess learn about each other, what is something that you hope to teach your fans?
I hope to teach just kindness. I'm a very open, nice person. Just kindness, treat others with kindness, and just
Totally.
everyone has their own story. Like that's why I say like nobody really knows personally who I am. I
Hmm.
give what I can post. Like I give a certain part of myself, and like I just feel like if anybody that you meet, just treat people with kindness, and like you will get the same kindness back that you treat them.
Totally. That is so important.
And I
I
do get that from
literally
Harry Styles. I'm a Harry Styles fan for all my
are
One
you
Directioners. Oh yeah, Harry Styles is like, I love him. I love him.
Bitch, what? You're over here throwing down hard as fuck and then you hit me with Harry Styles. Okay.
Because I know the
All
Directioners
right.
out there will be like, oh my God, treat people with kindness. That's from Harry Styles. I'm like, yeah, babe, that's where I got it from.
Yeah.
But that just, I vibe at that a lot because like I try and treat everybody with kindness, no matter who it is, no matter who comes up to me, no matter who asks me questions. I'm very open, honest. I don't sugarcoat shit. Like, I'm very just like, I tell you how it is, and that's it.
Yeah, that's so amazing. And like, I think I said it before, but you have like the warmest energy. Even just like
you.
Your texting voice is just like so magical. I'm like, this is going to be so fun. Yeah, yeah. So
I saw your Instagram too, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited for this interview.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. When, Kayla had reached out about this opportunity, I could not have jumped on it any quicker. The first thing I did was go onto Spotify, click on It's Vicky Bitch. I literally heard like the first two, like, I don't know, bars. And I was just like, okay. I texted Kayla. I was like, yes.
That means so much. Thank you. I'm really happy. Of course. Thank you.
Of course. Absolutely. We talked about the past and kind of where you're at now. Looking at the future, what are some dream gigs, some dream festivals that you kind of want to hit?
So dream festivals, EDC Vegas, Electric Forest, Lollapalooza, Cyclops Cove.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right? I'm like, I would love to play Cyclops Cove. Thunderdome. I definitely play Thunderdome one day. I'm trying to think what else. I'm thinking of like other. Oh, Lost Lands. Excuse me. Lost Lands.
Lost Lands is it's my hometown festival. So if you come to Lost Lands,
I'm going for the first year this year. I'm going for the first time this year.
We'll have to talk about this later because we're definitely going to hang out.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yes. We'll have to just like kind of push you on stage, like show them like, hey, you need to get her up here.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
I sound so annoying, but I'm such a supporter of yours. Like your personality, your music, like you're checking all the boxes and more. And I'm so excited to watch you grow as an artist. Seriously, it's going to be amazing for you.
That means a lot to me. So thank you. I really appreciate it.
Talking about how people can connect with you. Where can people find your music? Where can people find your socials? How can people kind of follow your journey as you go?
So I have Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud. My SoundCloud and Facebook is official Vicky B. Everything else is DJ_Vicky B. All my socials, I try to make it the same so it's easier. Instagram, Twitter. My Snapchat I keep kind of private, but I'll probably make a public one soon. Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud. SoundCloud is official Vicky B. Instagram and Twitter is DJ Vicky B.
I will link all of your socials and everything down below. Okay. So if you guys want to follow her, please do. It will be there for you. All that good information. I do want to ask, are there any sneak peeks that you want to drop or any upcoming shows that people can find you at?
Let me see. I'm trying to think what I can say.
Yeah, be careful. Don't expose yourself.
I know. I'm just thinking. I have a lot going on after, I would say, April. Okay. There'll be a lot of announcements April after. A lot.
Okay.
A lot.
Amazing.
A lot in Florida, a lot of outside of Florida. So just be on the lookout. And then if anyone wants me to come to their city, just DM me, send me a message.
Amazing. All right. Yeah. So you guys heard it. Keep an eye on her socials and you will be getting those announcements. All of her dates, all those good things that you can catch her live, which I will definitely be making a priority in myself. Right. And with all of that, thank you so much for joining me today on my channel. I appreciate it. Yes, you are so awesome. Like I said, I cannot wait to watch you grow. Everybody check her out. Seriously, you don't want to miss out on this. It is going to be the best ride ever.
I'm so excited. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you.
It's a 16 buff in the dark.